How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the most recent Pokemon as well as Nintendo Switch 2 news that you guys may not have seen, but there is some massive stuff happening. The Switch 2 may actually properly have leaked now, apparently, according to Reddit at least. So, let's take a look at what's happening here, guys. Starting things off, we have a post coming from us to us from PoriLeaks on Twitter. Kicking off saying, insane amounts of salt. Allegedly, a final production unit of the Nintendo Switch 2 has shown up online. And the guy who posted this was Next Handheld, a user named Next Handheld, who has a little dog picture, I think, who says, I've come from the future, which of course is a joke, but he continues saying, I got my muggy hands on the final release, Switch 2, and it's doc. Ask me anything, I'll post proof on Xmas, or Christmas in this case. Then somebody underneath that said, if you don't either post a proof now or have a damn good excuse for why you cannot post it until Christmas, I will ban your account. He said that, and this is a mod, by the way. There's an actual mod on the r/Nintendo Switch 2 subreddit. So this guy, this mod is putting his own actual reputation online by saying the following. He added an edit after basically shitting on this guy saying, WTF, they actually had evidence. That's a very new one, right? This person is unironically telling the truth or is a really good hoaxer, but that wouldn't make sense if they were trying to hide it, so I don't know. And that's the thing. There was a follow-up, by the way, on r/Gaming Leaks and Rumors that said the following, which is, the user claims to have held the console but not been allowed to turn it on. Okay, well, that's a little bit wild, but what does he say, though? Well, he says, the console is called Switch 2. Literally, I mean, it's the name we've all been calling it, but okay. So, it's called the Switch 2, and the logo is the Switch logo with a giant 2 on the side. Honestly, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. This makes the most sense. I know in the past, and it's made sense in the past for Nintendo and, you know, just whenever they make new consoles, to sort of give them, bizarre new names, right? Or not bizarre, but just strange new names. The Wii, the Wii U, DS, 3DS, so on and so forth, right? The naming schemes made sense for whatever consoles they were making at the time. But that was when their consoles were split off, and you didn't have, just one main console that was the big thing, right? If you think about, Xbox and PlayStation, those two consoles have always been sort of, in one direction in a sense, right? They've always had their main console, and anything else is kind of a side thing that doesn't really matter as much. The PSP was a thing, but it wasn't as big as, let's say, the DS was or the Game Boy. But however, that's the thing. They all named their consoles in relatively logical ways until Xbox started doing all the weird shit with the S and the 1 and all that crap. But PlayStation always kept it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this would make the most sense for the Nintendo Switch. If they called it the Nintendo Switch U or some dog shit ass name, it would just hurt potential sales because it would be confusing. But by adding that number 2 at the end, it literally, you instantly know, as a parent buying a console, if your kid is Mommy, I want the new Switch, Mom! And you see a Switch and then a Switch with a big number 2 on it, you're gonna understand that, okay, this is the new one because it has a 2 after it. It's just a simple marketing thing in this case. Makes it so much easier to sell it to people that may not be as in tune with this information as you and me, but I digress. Let's get to the rest of it. So, they say apparently that the Switch 2 is called, okay, so it's called Switch 2, it's got the 2 in the logo, but second of all, they say that their unit was a dark gray model, but apparently there is a full white SKU, both Joy-Con and tablet, and another special edition SKU is themed around a game with a 9. It seems very obvious this could be a hint to Mario Kart 9, which that would be pretty based, okay? People have been stuck with Mario Kart 8 for a while, so that'd be pretty sick. They continue saying, the console doesn't really feel heavier than the current Switch. That's fair, though strange, but all right. He says he says the buttons and sticks are marginally larger than the current Switch. I really hope that we're not going to have a Joy-Con drift again, because that will piss me off, man. I have 6 pairs of these things, or sorry, 2, I guess 3 pairs, but yeah, 6 of these Joy-Cons are just fucked. They say magnetically attaching the Joy-Cons to the console makes a mechanical click sound. Okay, so right, because we already knew this. This has already been a leaked piece of information, that they're not going to be attached through the old method. If you guys see the Switch here, right, you guys already know how it works. You attach them and you hear the click, right? These ones are not going to be attached that way. It's going to be instead magnetic, which I don't have it to show you right now, but I got a lovely gift for yesterday for my birthday from my girlfriend, which is the Lenovo Legion Go, which actually has Joy-Con similar looking controllers, which you can take off, and they use magnetic connections or something magnetic-esque. You do still have to press a button, and they are pretty well on there. They do attach similarly to the Switch, but you pull downwards and they just function a little bit differently. But I would assume this would be a little similar to that, where you still need to hold a button to kind of get them off. So yeah, makes sense, because I just don't want these things to fall off on their own, right? But given that they're going to be magnetic, I highly doubt that's going to be the case. Either way, they go on and say that the 2 back buttons are indeed the Joy-Con release buttons. Okay, cool. He says he heard the reveal is next month for a Nintendo meeting. I think they may be referring to the investors meeting on February 4th of 2025. That could be the case, because yes, if there is an investors meeting, it would make sense. You want to get this out there to the public to see, because you want to encourage the investors to keep investing in the company into the next year, because they will know that there will be a higher yield due to release of a new console, because a new console means more profits, right? Money is going to be like, the cash flow is going to start rolling, because they're going to be selling new consoles. And I think a lot of people will be buying them because it's been a clean, almost, geez, man, it's been 7 years. Yeah, it's been 7 years. We're closing in, soon, like not too far from now, but it's going to be the decade of the Switch, man. So it makes sense to get a new one. 7 years since 2017, we had this thing. It's about time we get a new one. Rolling into the 8th year of the console, actually. But again, besides the point, he says it's going to be around that time. So January would make sense. Again, the most common thing I've heard is that this console should be releasing between March and June, and not the end of the year, because they want to get this thing out. Because I think even according to the actual Nintendo, president, they told us that we're going to see this thing before the end of the fourth business quarter or whatever. So again, generally speaking, we should be seeing this very, very soon. And January honestly makes sense. It's a good time to show this thing off. But yeah, either way, let's move on to the next thing. They say the dock has the same ports of the Switch OLED dock. Okay, okay. And it's a bit larger, but curved, and so much of the screen pops out. Okay. They say the game cart looks like the same one as the current Switch. So hopefully that means that because we have heard they're going to be backwards compatible. That is confirmed, I think. So that might be a good indication that the game carts are not changing, which, to be fair, why would they even change? I think the game carts for the Switch work and function properly to begin with already, so makes no sense. By the way, they say the game card looks the same, all right? Then, quoting the person here, the top side of the Joy-Cons, when a detached, has a surprise feature. And the magnets themselves are buttons. Okay, so 2 buttons. Oh, wow. Okay, I wonder how that's going to function. I really hope it's going to be good. I mean, again, I've got this thing. I've got 2 different handhelds now. I've got the Switch, and I've got the Lenovo Legion Go, which, by the way, I love that thing. It's amazing. But again, neither of them really, use proper, magnet. They're still attached very mechanically, so to say. Very much manually have to put them on there without any sort of magnets to keep them together. It's very straightforward, very rigid in a sense. So I'm wondering how this is going to feel. I just hope it's not going to be loose or anything, which I doubt it. I don't think Nintendo's engineers, they tend to be very good when it comes to actually getting this kind of shit right. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. But he says it's going to be an LCD screen. No, okay, fine. I get it. It's because they want to sell an OLED model separately. But man, bro, when are we going to start getting consoles out of the box that are handheld with OLED screens? Please. Why do we have to always go for the LCD? I get it. It's cost saving, but still. It's a little annoying. I do hope they launch with an OLED model as well instantly, and we don't have to wait another year or 2 for that. But either way, the ZL and ZR buttons are larger than the current Switch apparently. Which okay, fair enough. That is fine. And then it says sticks are Hall effect. Okay, fair enough. And then there's some further stuff down here. It's not sold on. Wait, I'm not sold on yet. Needs more proof. And then here, the Nintendo Switch 2, r/Nintendo Switch 2 mod followed up saying, this person sent me the evidence that they apparently cannot share openly yet. The reason they gave is that it somehow could have their identity traced to them. At least that's how I understood it. I don't know how they plan on having their identity not traced back to them when they send it after December 25th, but I did not ask them that, in general. The reason they sent me evidence is because I, in order to enforce the subreddit rules, and number 3, leaks must have a source, was going to delete this post if they didn't send anything since they didn't have a source. We got a lot of hoaxers here with absolutely zero evidence. Somehow, without being specific, they did actually have evidence, and they have sent me that. So I absolutely will allow this private information as a source, even if most people cannot access it yet. I don't know why they said they are from the future. I think that was some kind of weird joke. I mean, obviously, no shit. But I didn't ask them about that either. Even though they sent the evidence to me through DMs, they still had to be up and down convinced that I would not share the evidence with anyone. I would suggest not DMing them, especially considering they have now asked people to not DM them, as they would probably not be willing to share it with random people. My reasoning that convinced them to send it, to me at least, was that I always wanted to broker a leak in some way, and sharing the evidence would ruin more opportunities to do it in the future. So it makes sense. This guy, again, he's a mod on this Discord. I highly doubt he'd want to risk his position as a mod. It's a Reddit mod. I don't think he wants to lose his position or to get, be kind of undermined by, sharing or agreeing or believing fake shit that he can confirm. So in that regard, I think we're Gucci, right? I think we're fine. I think we can trust this. But we do have one more thing I want to show you in regards to this, which is this post right here. I don't know if this is real, but this was posted, which shows what could be the new Switch. Again, no guarantees. Don't know if this is real, but it could just be somebody who modeled it based on what that guy shared. Like, this could just be a 3D model that was made to look a little bit similar to the guy that, we already talked about a little bit. So, again, I don't know if this is related anyway. I don't know if this is actually real, but it looks pretty clean if this is what it ends up looking like. This actually could be pretty clean. I'm not going to lie. The dock, I would be a little bit scared. I really hope it's bottom heavy. Like, the bottom section of it is really heavy so that it, like, when you put the Switch in, that it's not going to wobble around or fall, because that shit would really suck. So I really hope it's going to be bottom heavy in this case, but again, we'll see. But that's not where it ends, by the way. We do also have, and this is, by the way, the original post here on Reddit. If you guys want to look it up, you can do it yourself. But then we also had this, which was shared like at the beginning of December, which was somebody say, like Game Reactor saying Nintendo Switch 2 should release around June and sell for more than 400 euros. And Samus Hunter basically confirmed, saying this lines up with what I heard. For the price I heard, it would be have been on the lower side of this range, not 500, but most likely 399 to 440. Oh God, bro, I don't want to spend 400 bucks, man. Either way, depending on region or tax included, and late spring release like June, which is what I said earlier, right? Makes the most sense. But late spring release, May, June. Release depending on production numbers for launch, aiming for $399, depending on taxes. Presentation already confirmed for this FYI. Wait, fiscal year, right? Speculation between late January, February. No info on that now. They still have to announce some Switch 1 games, which makes sense, right? They want to get all the shit that we don't already have. Want to get that out of the system, which, hey, Pokemon is one of those, man. But, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. So, either way, we move on to the next thing, and we're going to just kind of clear this up real quick here. We got two rumors to go through. So the first one is Gen 10 region leak. Obviously, don't take this shit as being real. It is a Gen 10 leak, okay? It's ridiculous, but I thought it'd be fun to cover because we talked a lot about the Switch. Let's talk a bit about Pokemon. So, Gen 10 region is based on the Mediterranean. It contains areas based on Italy, Greece, and the Balkans. Bro, I'm going home, baby. Dude, I'd love that. I would love to actually go to the Balkans. That would be a wild Pokemon region. Turkey, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and Cyprus. Dude, I don't think they were going to make a Pokemon region based on all those countries. That would be insane. Small areas of Paldea, Spain, Kalos, France will be accessible in the post-game. Again, too large scale. Player's hometown is in Sicily. Cities based on Rome, Venice, Istanbul, Athens, Algiers, Tirana, Alexandria will have gyms. 8th gym will not be in this. Be in a city, but will be on an island based on Corsica. Okay. Again, yeah, I'm not gonna go into most of this because it just seems unrealistic. But this one did seem a little bit more fun though, which is Switch 2 announced for 15th of January, digital and cartridge edition, 400 and 450 respectively. Announced with new games: Open World Mario, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, and Kirby Direct in February. Which does sound realistic, to be fair. Like, we're definitely getting a new Mario game, like an open world Mario game, following up with that Switch 2, right? Animal Crossing, that one is a little bit more iffy. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. Then we continue with the next thing. Legends EA trailer during Pokemon Day. Okay, hold up. Legends EA trailer during Pokemon Day. That is the most obvious shit you could ever say, but okay. Starters, that's definitely going to be revealed. New Megas, that's going to be revealed. New bosses, I'm assuming this would be like replacing something in this case, like, instead of gyms, we'd have bosses. New Legendary, okay, that would also be making sense. Starters are Snivy, Piplup, and Scorbunny, but Kalos get Megas. I do think the Kalos starters will get Megas, but I do also think that the Kalos starters will be our regular starters in this game. I keep hoping that that's not the case, but it's probably going to be the most likely scenario. Then they say that Gen 10 announced Pokemon Day. Dad, oh, brother, please let that actually happen if it does happen. Again, it's just a rumor, and I don't trust it, but it would be so funny if it was the case, though. So Gen 10 announced Pokemon Day, released 2026, based in Greece, only for Switch 2, which that makes sense if it's Gen 10. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much summarizes up what I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, not really a lot to talk about in Pokemon, but Switch 2... Baby, we're getting close now. And keep in mind, guys, Pokemon Day is coming up. Pokemon Day is very soon. We are 100%, okay? 100% going to get Pokemon news in February for Pokemon Day. So there's no question about that. You're going to see the release date for Legends EA then, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.